First thing, of course, you need to do is talk less. Sometimes we overtalk. And a lot of times when we're doing that, we actually over explain ourselves and we end up repeating ourselves. James tells us that, of course, we're to be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. David said simply this: Put a watchman on my mouth that I will not sin against you. A little thought for you. Also, as well, remain calm. There's a lot of folks out there that are trying to draw you into a conversation. Years ago, I was on the phone talking to a fella, and he was really baiting me to be able to get angry. And I did. And after the conversation was over, I realized that I had lost my position of peace. And so it is absolutely important that when everybody else is losing their heads, you stay calm. Also, as well, don't be a person who basically causes drama, or you can avoid drama. Basically, what you need to do is make sure that you do not get drawn into drama. Don't, uh, end up, promoting a cause that is not your own. And also remember, as you remain calm and as you also talk less, you're going to avoid drama. Also, observe and don't react. It is absolutely important that you and I know what's going on around us. And that is very important. That's why when you talk less, you're calm and you avoid drama, you can observe because you're not being drawn into things, and don't react. You don't have to react when someone is reacting around you. Also, remember, maintain eye contact. People know when you are actually listening to them. Years ago, I was chatting with a guy in a gymnasium, and he looked at me and said, "You know something?" He says, "I really like talking to you." And I said, "Why's that?" He says, "You're always looking at me. You're not looking around to see who's nearby." And that's absolutely important. People will know if you are genuinely interested in what they have to say, and if you keep eye contact. Also, master your body language. Very important. Your body language will often betray how you really feeling. Like a couple days ago, you had the French president Macron in the White House, and he put his arm on Mr. Trump's arm and corrected him. And then you had Mr. Trump rolling his eyes. Well, I'll tell you, you got to have good body language. For example, when you go like this, you're basically close to a person. When you extend your hand, that means that, of course, that you are interested and you want to be able. So control your body language. Watch your eye contact. Also, as well, master or think about before you actually speak. That is so important. Think about what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, and why you're going to say it, and then think very through, because what you say can really affect a conversation. It can also either shut down a conversation or enhance a conversation. So it's very, very important. Also, as well, value your time. Make sure that you have good time management skills. It really makes you more powerful because and that's part of evaluating, of course, your priorities in your life. Remember, there are, a lot of us, we get involved with the urgent and the crisis, and we end up, chasing those things that don't matter. Many people, they major on the minors and minor on the majors. So you say, okay, what are the majors? Well, for me, it's my relationship with God. It's my relationship with my spouse, with my family. I had a wonderful conversation last night with my granddaughter, Gabby. And I said one of the reasons why I was staying with my daughter at the time was so that I got to know my granddaughter better. So I spent about an hour with my granddaughter. It was a very, very good conversation. Make sure that you know what is important and what is not important. So many men, for example, what they do is they end up, going after their job, and after 30 or 40 years, all of a sudden they don't know their spouse, they don't know their kids. And there's one thing that you have to remember about jobs, and that is simply this: within 2 or 3 days, they can replace you. You say, well, I'm the owner of the company. Well, you're going to sell the company or someone's going to take it over. So value your time. Also, speak less about yourself. People are more interested in what you have to say about them. That's right. The number one subject of most people is themselves. So when you talk less about yourself and you're more interested in them, you know what? It creates a greater conversation. Besides, you don't have to promote yourself. You don't have to lift yourself up. There are world leaders where it's all about them and everything is into them. And you know what? You don't need to follow that kind of drama. Also, as well, listen more before you speak. Simple. That's what James said. Be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. When you listen more, and remember, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. There's a very good reason. You see, when you listen to people, you actually are able to figure things out. You're able to know how to respond. You also, when you think before you speak, well, you know what? When you're listening, you know how to respond. Also, make moves in silence. People often don't know what you're doing when you are very methodical and also as well very deliberate. So you don't have to announce everything that you have to say. Also, talk slower. Many of us have a tendency to talk way too fast, and a lot of the conversation is lost. So think about what you're going to say and say it in such a manner that people also know what you're saying. And then lastly, show respect. Now, that is really important because did you know that 80% of men want to have respect? That's the number one thing that they want: respect. And remember, when you give respect, it is showing that you value the person and that you think that they're quality. So, just a little thoughts up to you today. So, what are they again? Talk less, be calm, avoid drama, observe and don't react, make eye contact, master your body language, think before you speak, value your time, speak less about yourself, listen more than you speak, which is very, very important. Um, and just that one alone, you don't have to talk over someone, okay? Because that shows lack of respect. Also, as well, speak less about yourself, make moves in silent, talk slower, and show respect. A little thought for you today. My name is Robert Dean Steele. If you like what you've been hearing, I always encourage you to press the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel.